Inter Raw. RK's Guyana Free Media. Your friend, your brother, HAJI, Dr. ROSHAN can Inter Raw. Dearest beloved divine friends, family, brothers and sisters, I have with me the Tuesday, July 30th, 2024, and I'm recording on Wednesday, the 31st of July, 2024. I have with me here the papers of the Guyana Times electoral fraud case. I'm happy that it's happening now. Local government minister testifies about blatant attempts to steal the votes. I must let you know that Ms. Pariag and I were in the same rooms when we were involved in vote counting, and we saw the blatant attempts to confuse and create annoyance and pain at the convention center when the recount was being done. So this lady, Honorable Minister Pariag, knows exactly what she's saying. Local government minister testifies about blatant attempts to steal votes, tells court Gecom staff were submitting PPP votes, inflating APNO AFCs. I was there, I saw, we witnessed, we knew what was going on. And the APNO, with all the shenanigans and all they did to this nation, eliminated the cash grant, the We Care cash grant for the children. First thing they did. Closing down Gaisuko in Bobis without preparing the people and organizing them. APNO did not think about their livelihood, just closed down. It's like a hate of particularly Bobisians. How? And then the negative impact that reverberated in the nation, the financial consequences economically that it caused. How did they expect to win? And then Ramjatan, Mr., I call him Mr., and Nagamutu Mr., all of them from Bobis did not tell the people anything. How did they expect to ever win an election? Ever. That is my concern. Now, let me read this article. So let's say this is part one of the court matter. And remember that this in the raw started when the first set of counts at the Ashman building was in place, was in progress. It started then in the raw, because I could not have seen what was taking, I could not have allowed what was taking place. The 2020 general and regional elections fraud case against former Guyana Elections Commission Gecom staff and other co-accused began on Wednesday with local government minister Sonia Parag testifying that staff from the election agency attempted to subtract votes from the People's Progressive Party Civic and add them to the then ruling coalition partner. And this is what apparently happened in our neighboring country of Venezuela. Because 70% of the vote is known to have gone to the opposition, Machado, and the person who was holding the position as leader. And the same thing, the exact same thing happened. She testified that efforts were being made by Gecom staff before her very eyes, and yours truly too. We were in the same section. She was representing her party, I was representing the Private Sector Commission. Actually, I was there on the ERC and sitting along and coordinated by the Private Sector Commission to alter the results by deducting PPPC votes and adding votes to the then ruling APNO AFC according to Parag. She raised strenuous objections. I recall her, very dynamic. She's a very dynamic person. I don't see why she doesn't have the ability to become an Attorney General one day, Ms. Parag. Others, such as the current minister within the office of the Prime Minister, Kwame McCoy, subsequently joined in making objections. Yes. in the raw. RK's Guyana Free Media. Friends and brothers, I had to do some discussion and advisory with the business team, and so in the raw took a break. I'm back to finish this. Part 1. Local government minister testifies. The Gecom staff attempt to steal a nation and steal an election. She recalled that as she raised her objections, however, persons in the room were also trying to counteract those objections. Parag also named former Gecom official Michelle Miller, one of those on trial, as being the person who read out numbers from what she believed was a spreadsheet. However, some of her testimony was not admitted by the court. After objections by defense, the presiding magistrate questioned the relevance of some of the evidence being presented. And why would a magistrate question such things? I'm wondering. The magistrate should be interested in all the evidence being presented, as far as I know. I'm a layman, but that is as far as I know. I'm not going to attack or criticize the magistrate, but I wonder. However, Special Prosecutor Darshan Ramdani noted that the relevance is in Gecom deliberately ignoring the objections of multiple observers in the room. After consulting with counsel in her chambers, Magistrate Daly adjourned the case for today at 9:30 hours. So today, that would have been today the 31st. Based on Ramdani's opening statement, forensically audited statements of the poll will be presented at the court during the trial. I must state also that I may understand some of the lawyer or lawyers keep on trying to frustrate the case. It's a little legal technique, frustrate the magistrate or judge. But the magistrate and judge should know how to put a stop to that while they have certain right to object. In an interview with the media afterward, he noted that despite objections from the defense, the magistrate was allowing the evidence to flow. Oh, that's good. Magistrate Daly, good. We have finally started this trial and one witness is in the box, given evidence. We have had a good morning on it so far. There have been a lot of objections. You've seen the objections. I think it is almost objections after objection, but the evidence is flowing smoothly just to frustrate the trial and the witness, of course. This is a technique of some lawyers. You saw the magistrate, let us continue with the evidence. So the objections are no objections. The evidence is coming out. There was an objection, for instance, about the identification of the defendants. And the magistrate made it clear this case will not turn upon whether these people are the people sitting in that room calling out numbers. Objections. Attorney at law Ronald Daniel of Hughes, Fields and Stobie, who is one of the defense lawyers, meanwhile continued his objection outside to Parag being allowed to give testimony that had not been disclosed in the defense. That had not been disclosed to the defense. In the latter portion of Ms. Parag's testimony, she was giving evidence that was not disclosed to the defense, and of course, we have had quite a protracted period of over which disclosure could have been made. So we took the objections that the evidence which was given, we did not have the benefit of that to obtain instructions from our clients, so that we can treat with that accordingly. Quite unfortunately, our senior in the prosecution side took the view that the witness should be permitted to what we would deem as to venture on the frolic of her own. So this is the attorney at law, Ronald Daniels and so on. They're doing what he thinks is trying to make it complicated as it will appear. Mr. Daniels has said that it was not disclosed to the defense. The trial is set to last from July 29th to September 13, some 4 years after the 2020 general and regional elections. Other witnesses expected to testify include head of the diaspora unit, Rosalinda Rasul, former chairman, 4, police commander Edgar Thomas, and forensic investigator Raul Ned. Former chief elections officer Keith Lowenfield, his former deputy Roxanne Myers, along with the former District 4 Demerara Mahaica returning officer Claremont Mingo, former People's National Congress Reform chairperson Volder Lawrence, PNCR activist Carol Smith Joseph, and Gecom employee Shafforn February, Enrique Livon, Denise Bob Cummings, and Michelle Miller are facing 28 charges relating to electoral fraud. Among the offenses these defendants are accused of committing are misconduct while holding public office, presenting falsified documentation, and planning to manipulate Guyana's voters by presenting an inaccurate vote total. These charges stemmed from attempts to rig the 2020 general and regional elections in favor of the then ruling APNO AFC. The election report of former CEO Lowenfield claimed that the APNO AFC coalition garnered 171,825 votes, while the People's Progressive Party Civic gained 166,343 votes. How he arrived at those figures is still unknown. So we want him on the box. Right, ladies and gentlemen, in my commentary now? We will need Lowenfield on the box. Because in that position, it is alleged by many that he was behaving as if he was the owner. And also, it is alleged that there were some strange things happening with the award of contracts in which yours truly was denied the award of the contract by frivolous means. But I made a mistake. I should have gone to the court. And maybe I would have get some hundreds of millions of dollars for free. But I made a mistake at that time. Since the certified results from the recount exercise supervised by Gecom and a high-level team from the Caribbean community pellucidly showed that the PPP Civic won with 233,336 votes, while the coalition garnered 217,920 votes. Following the recount, PPP's Irfan Ali was declared president of Guyana on August 2nd, 2020, some 5 months after the March 20th, 2020 general and regional elections. Beloved divine friends, brothers and sisters, now this is basically the same thing that is happening with Maduro, Venezuela. He's lost the election, but just like what is known for, I'm sad because the APNO, not the APNO, the PNC, were my friends for many years since Hoyt took power. But it is a shame that they would want this power to sit there, because if they get this power, they would turn just like Maduro and like what Forbes Burnham did in destroying the economy, destroying the people, and causing people to migrate in vast numbers and stymieing the development of the country, my beloved divine friends, family, brothers and sisters. Look at Venezuela. Do we ever want Guyana to become like a Venezuela? Your friend, your brother, me. Your brother, HAJI, Dr. ROSHAN Chaninda, say thank you, farewell.